What's up, guys? Today we are in Wheeler Hill. We're on the south side of the USC campus. Let's think Blossom and Pickens Street. Basically, Wheat Street and Catawba Street also kind of outlie this neighborhood. So the neighborhood got its name back in the 1870s when a Dr. Wheeler bought some land and built his home on what was known back then as Pickens Hill. So the community continued to grow over the next 30 years as many families settled in this area. So the Hill was a very tight-knit community. Residents were a diverse group of citizens, working class, everything from educators to tradesmen to bootleggers. There were also churches and locally owned businesses here on the Hill that served the needs of the residents. So, fun fact, Dr. Ezra Wheeler, he actually donated some of the land he purchased to the AME Church. That's why you'll see churches so tightly combined with the residential houses here in Wheeler Hill. In 1916, Booker T. Washington High School opened right here on Wheat Street. This was the only African-American high school in the city. This attracted educators and students from all over the state. Students continued to graduate from this high school well into the 70s. The school closed in 1974 and was sold to the university. Shortly after that, USC immediately tore down the main classroom building. Fun fact, the bricks from that building were used to line the driveway of the campus historic horseshoe. In 1955, Wheeler Hill Elementary School opened and remained open until 1975. I read by the late 40s and early 50s, the Hill was home to over 200 families and 40 local businesses. Unlike its neighbors, Wells Garden, Shandon, and Rose Hills, Wheeler Hill was frowned upon by the city of Columbia. Due to the lack of infrastructure, dilapidated homes, and no zoning enforcement, this area had been classified as a D-grade neighborhood. Very few of the roads were paved, and many of the homes did not have electricity. While there were a few families who owned their home or business, there were a mix of social class, and many of the homes were overcrowded, rented from absent landlords who were not keeping up with the codes or repairs. Wheeler Hill was beginning to be known as one of the city's most blighted areas. As we approached the 60s, not far behind was the rollout of the Urban Renewal Project. This was basically a combination of land acquisition and redevelopment plans for this area. Many of the landlords sold out to the city and the university, forcing residents to find housing elsewhere. Originally, all the land acquired through sales and eminent domain, which is where the government uses its power to take private property for public use, was going to be used by the university. In the 70s, after USC decided they no longer needed the area on the left side of Pickens, the city of Columbia and USC worked together to announce their plans to totally clear out the space and redevelop this into a residential community. Both groups had goals of transforming the rundown community into a more affluent neighborhood that would be appealing to executives and upper middle class families. After everything was demolished down to ground zero, the lots began to sell and large multi-level homes were built, turning this area into what we now know as Wheeler Hill.